Hi and welcome to another edition of Joy News Interactive with Miss G, the entertainment general. We are live from digital address in Kokomlini, GA 0992539 Accra. We are also live on DSTV channel 421, Go TV channel 144. Join the conversation on Facebook and Twitter. It's Joy News on TV. It's a beautiful day. And you can make it more better by getting your phones, iPad, and laptops. And let's get interactive because it's Thursday. So let's start with this one. According to the latest Global Corruption Perception Index, Ghana scored 40 out of 100 and ranked 81 out of 180 countries assessed, making President Akufo-Addo's 1 year in office the worst since 2012. The index shows that Ghana's performance has dropped by 3 points in its 2016 score of 43, 7 points cumulatively from 2015 score of 47. So what's your perception about corruption in Ghana? That's the question we're asking you, and definitely you have some responses for us on our Facebook page. And King Gorazo says Ghana dropped at a slower rate, 3% this time, compared to 2015 to 2016, where Ghana dropped by 4 points or 4%, and this is a good sign. And so the next one will be in 2017 to 2018 will be we'll see a rise due to the advent of the Special Prosecutor's Office. Akufo-Addo has done better than previously. And let's see, Prekese Kwame Aristocrat says the Corruption Perception Index report is not surprising at all. The world's most nepotic government is Nanado and his family and his friends' governments. The president talks about corruption but points fingers towards the opposite side and covers up the glare corruption under his nose. Ghana has scored the lowest ranking in Transparency International Corruption Index since 2012, 40%. This shows how corrupt this MPP administration is. In effect, Nanado and his MPP administration are more corrupt than JM and his NDC, despite the media hype. And with this, we shall soon get to Damascus, and want to read some of the reply. King Gorazo comes back here again and says, you're simply writing for the sake of it. You don't understand the report. Gideon Kweku says, Corruption Perception Index, and you're talking of nepotism. Like someone said, you're just writing for the sake of it. And Watson is saying, it's true, King Gorazo, say it again. So he's agreeing with what Gorazo had written earlier. And Patience Abaka says, no sense at all. Douglas Daniel Mensa says, but if you have a non-serious parliament setting up committees to investigate itself in bribery scandals as the whole world watches, why won't the whole nation be termed corrupt? And funny thing is, they just apologize and that's it, forgetting the global damage caused. And David Rex says, protecting the public purse, I can't think far when you have all your family members grabbing every position in the country. Renat says, oh wow, what a country. Free education as a cover-up to chop. I love my Ghana people. They know how to chop money, and Ghanaians will hypocritically follow these political parties even when they're messing up. Our men of God won't say this, but see death. Ghana is just funny, only the mighty rules. And Nanago says, people are trying to interpret Global Corruption Perception Index on this platform in a different way. And what they want us to understand is simple, meaning corruption has increased in 2017 under the current administration, period. And he has a lot of hashtags there. Billy writes, you should have given us the link to read this ourselves. I disagree with the survey this time because I don't see Ghana being corrupt than Nigeria because Nigeria alone, they got it wrong this time. Okay, so you can go on myjoyonline.com. You'll find the link and the story there. You can read it yourself. Now, away from the Corruption Perception Index, the activities of prophets have been brought to bear, especially following the death of dancehall artist Ebony Reigns, generating a conversation with some legal brains in the country, raising red flags over the operation of prophets and their prophecies. Some of them are of the view that the doom prophecies by these or some charlatan prophets only subjects the target of those prophecies to emotional trauma. Should there be a law to regulate the activities of prophets and their prophecies? Do you have prophets? Do prophets have too much freedom in this country? We are asking you. Tell us what you think, and I'll go straight to read some of your comments. Justice says, prophecy and so-called legal brain is ambiguous. You rather have to call the big men of God to give us direction. Those big brains themselves are at risk of losing their lives, and that human knowledge is limited when it comes to spiritual themes. Let's not joke with prophecy, as we have fake ones, so we have genuine prophets. And sure, God, those who understand the works of God, and so it's talking about bless. Okay, let's go to Adams Amir, who writes, there is no such thing as a prophet in this world right now. They are just people who are good at prediction and giving motivational speeches in places we call churches in Ghana. The last prophet came 1,400 years ago. That has 4 replies. And who was that? Is Kofi is asking. Muhammad or who? Okay. This is a religious battle going on here, and so Kofi is trying to explain. Let's go on. And Edinam says the media, politicians, and those called or who call themselves legal brains are going to separate Ghana, the lovely country, from the love of God if they try to bring out any law to regulate the works of God. Kweku Osei writes, these are evil pastors spiritually killing people for their rituals and hiding behind fake prophecies. The police should shine their eyes and investigate them. There should be laws against any death pronouncement. Example, diabo cases, etc., and punishable by jail sentence. You were saying, Kakeli writes, the last prophet died after writing the book of Revelation. So who are those wolves deceiving the people that they are prophets? Fred Tefe says they are the cause of family dispute these days. They made their followers believe that their parents are the cause of their misfortunes. Laws should be made to regulate their activities in the country. And Abraham Smith said the media is giving too much attention to these so-called men of God. Gone are the days when you hardly hear of these prophets on radio. But for now, they offer more attention to these deadly HIV pastors. Really? I think the entire country must rise up and put, let's see what else he's saying, a stop to some prophecies by these deadly pastors. I think the most annoying part is that they can't make developmental prophecies. Enya asafo muaba. Be careful, because this is not how Jesus Christ carried out his ministry. And the sermon says, we don't need any laws on this. What are laws when they aren't enforced? And we have so many of such. We need common sense. This or those charlatanic prophets, he quotes in quotes, should be arrested immediately after causing fear and panic, emotional trauma, injury of any sort or damage, etc. to celebrities, prominent persons with their prophecies. And Frimpong Ampong says they should be arrested for making such false prophecies, because most of them possess demonic powers and tend to kill victims. Edinam says, hey, Joy, this thing of legal brain is not going to work at all, because of how those people called legal brains are going to differentiate the real prophecy. Okay, so you're asking how they're going to differentiate the real prophecy and the doomed ones. Please, those legal brains should not bring curse upon this lovely country. God himself will deal with those false prophets in the right direction. Remember, every step has its own consequences. And NAP says this is long overdue. There should be laws regulating the activities of religious bodies and their actors. We need to know how much they make as inflows and what the nature of their outflows are. I think equally of importance, the kind of messages these religious actors preach should be of interest to the regulators. So he's written a lot about that. And GH, prophecy to you won't regulate it. Abba, indirectly you are limiting, regulating and deciding what God should tell his people. Remember not to rule with our own understanding. And Isaac says, some have given that title to themselves, but God knows them not, and we have to choose to follow them without seeking for God's direction as to whom we should follow. We shouldn't blame anyone because the same Ghanaians are following the same prophet, and he has some more if we can read that, or we'll go into another one. Now, interesting comments there on prophecies and the law. I'll take a quick breather now. When I come back for Throwback Thursday, we will tell you the designs you created as a child using clay. So you're going to tell us that some designs you created as a child using clay. Let's take a break now. Welcome back from the break. It's time for Throwback. Now today we want to look back to those days when happy children brought their creativity to bear using clay. What design did you create using clay back in the day? Share with us. And that's a picture in your shot of some children designing stuff with clay. I remember doing that a lot as a child. Let's see what you remember. And Darlington Talasi Kumako says, a gun as as then KGRC, which is Chief Gascony wife to date of, Ghana map and plate with cups for Seth Kumako as craft back Kolebu Police Barracks. So I'm thinking he's talking about his school and all that. So let's talk about what Simon says. And if there were enabling environments, some of these creativities would be brought to bear in the realization of the fullest potential of many. And I used to make camera and soap bar sometimes. I produce train and traffic light to score a good mark and laugh out loud. And staff GH Hart says, I used to make television set with clay. That was much fun. I miss it. And Prince Nuruddin Baumia says, very interesting back at the, back in the day when we were young, I always used it to mold cows, cars, etc. And elephants, that's the only thing I used to do. So they used to call me Elephant Man, that's coming from a J. And I used to make a horse. It was fun. I wish I can still make some. Beloved says so. And Adoliba Jacob says, passengers in a car. It was so interesting those days. Someone comes back and says, so he said that already. And Salifu One Heart says, still fresh in my mind, hashtag crocodile. So I'm sure that's what you used to do. And Davina Williams said, tilapia. So people telling us what they use clays for back in the day when they were kids. Now, before I go, let's touch on this controversial relationship topic. Some men believe that they should pay for everything in a relationship. So people believe that it's the duty of a man to pay for everything. Once you take a woman on a date, you're supposed to be footing the bill, and the woman has no business. Even when she calls you for a date, it's perceived that once you're a man, you have to own up as a man and pay the bill. What do you think? Let's read your comments. Do you think that men should pay for everything? And a man just said, waiting. The men orphanage homes, even that orphan has a role to play. And he gets 5 replies for that comment. And those are people laughing. So his friends who are laughing. And Patrona says, yes, if only the woman is not greedy to open herself. What does that mean? I don't know. And yes, evidence. The Quran says that men are a shield for women. Shield here may mean protection against any form of discomfort. So I like this one. I always quote this one. So, and Power 4 says, yes, that's our core mandate, and women should not hesitate to be submissive, but open the show whenever we demand. Hey. So there are a lot of parables here that I do not understand. And Princess, I have never been in any relationship that I spent a penny on the ladies. They never took my money, but was rather given money. So how do I even comment on this? Hey, you must be really lucky. Jay, and frankly says, because they take from different guys and give to you. My brother, wise up and stop. He puts a red light there to that and put a stop to that. He's telling you, says, and then he comes to say, hey, who said they take from other men? They are from rich homes. Go and try one. You will come and testify. Don't date broke girls. I don't have much, so I try to date those who will support me a little. That's a smart dude, you know. And Boabin Kofi says, director, then check your ladies well. They might be getting it elsewhere. The guy says they are not. He comes to post it again. He said they are not getting it elsewhere. I'm telling you, they are from rich homes. Now you are telling me to go and check it well. Why do you think all the ladies are the same? Can't they give money at all? Hey, maybe you didn't date the right ones. So he's telling you. And Isaac Cramper says, Brabento, nothing is free on this earth too. So be very careful. Some ladies chase guys with money, but the guy pay for it back unaware. It can be spiritual or physical payback. So let's be vigilant, okay? I don't know what this man will tell you guys again. And Isaac, don't mind him. Okay, so let's move away from that. Okay, so I feel you, you know, Benson, you know. And Ni Ablo says, I want to see what the feminists have to say, since they want gender equality. Is going to be a 50-50 thing, I think. Laugh out loud. And yes, the man is responsible for the payment of everything in the house. The woman may help out of her own will, not as her responsibility. And Joe Lipton says, are the men philanthropists? 21st century, there is nothing called a relationship, cause all these, okay, and sake of me pair the relationship they hear me, and okay, so Mensa Chris says, not at all, it's a relationship and both parties should join hands and work together. Daniel says, you won't even talk about marriage. Billions Nation said, it's a shopping mall. Is it a shopping mall or a relationship? He's asking. And no, not always. Women can pay sometimes. And why do I work at the Central Bank of Ghana? Not laugh out loud, and the two shall become one. And Akwetia Wolanyo says, men are the head of the family and women are just helping it. And then Danny says, yes, men will be dictating in all areas in the union. And if yes, you explain then the difference. Okay, you explain the difference between prostitution and a relationship to me. Obed Ofori says the Bible said there will be man's helper, so she needs to help, not pay only to chop. And ask again, because these days relationships are now a source of income to some ladies, and no, it shouldn't work that way. Both ways does show maturity and respect. That's from Liz. And Francis Ampon says, not at all. If the ladies can help, why not? And Inusa says, most ladies mistake being in a relationship is to be in an orphanage. And Bongo says, we there show them men. Okay, so we there show them men GH will never do that. We will divide expenses equally, whether you like it or not. People are there to, divide with you. And Prince says, I don't think it should be, but part of the world perceives that. And it's the man's responsibility. But if the woman wants to help, it's a plus to her. And so those are some messages from you. So that'll be it for this edition of Joy News Interactive. Thanks for joining me. Enjoy the rest of the day. I'll leave you with our video of the day. I hope you enjoy it. Catch you sometime later. My name is Ms. G.
I remember the master. And I am a fine mom. Miss Cathy there, Milba Soli. In fact, in Yama Yabra. mede yankopɔn ne din mediri 1,000 ɛfi afɛli yi mu